you for tuning in. I will be going into my beehive. I currently have one super set up, and I'm going to be adding this second one right here. So the super is what they call the box. But I'm going to add another box on top of that. That will allow the bees to have more room to continue making and storing their honey. In case you're wondering, there's the greenhouse, and here's the garden. It's doing very well already this season. We have snow peas, string beans, cucumbers, pickles. Here's our peach tree with some peaches on it. Some squash, potatoes. Over here we have some kiwis going. And there's even raspberries and a lot more in the greenhouse. I'll show you in a little bit. But in the meantime, let's focus on the beehive. Okay, so I'm going to put this camera on the tripod for you. So I might shake for a moment while I'm setting this up. And then we're going to go into the beehive. So stick with me for just a moment. I might not be able to read comments while I'm doing this. So if I don't answer your comments, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm trying to get this done before the bees get too angry. So thank you for dealing with this shakiness. Give me one moment. Okay, that looks good. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put some smoke in my smoking box real quick. Now, I usually chill right here with the bees without my suit on, and they don't really ever care. But because I am going to open the hive up, I think it's probably a good idea to give them a little bit of smoke. That way they don't get a little more docile. The smoke kind of like calms them, or I don't know if they don't like it or what it is, but they seem to leave. They go the opposite direction of the smoke. So a couple little pellets, maybe like about 4 or 5. You guys have any questions? This is my second year beekeeping. I started last year. You can check out my other videos. I will be uploading real soon the honey harvest from last year. Got a lot of honey. It was delicious. Still is delicious, actually. Honey is so amazing for not just its deliciousness, but the health benefits. It helps fight helps you with your allergies. I usually just leave the smoker right here and let it smoke slowly. I don't want to freak them out. I only use it when I absolutely have to, because I find that the honey can actually take on the flavor of the smoke. I don't know if it's like a molecular thing where like the smoke attaches to the honey very easily, but nobody really wants to smell. Nobody wants to taste the smoke in your honey. So unless you want smoked honey, then you use specific smoke for that. You don't want to just smoke whatever. So I can see the bees are already getting a little antsy because they know something's going to happen. They see the smoke, they see me here, and they're trying to work to get all their pollen and nectar in the hive, but they know something's about to happen. So I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible without freaking them out. Let me turn the camera down just a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Alrighty. First thing we're going to do, take the top off, set it back here. Get your hive tool. Wow, look at all that honey already. We call this wild comb. Wild comb because it's not really in any specific shape. They just put it wherever they want. So I can see right now already they have comb on these like 3 or 4 center ones, and they're ignoring the side, which is not really what we want. The other thing is I have this feeder box right here that I'm going to take out because this late in the season they don't need to be fed. That's for early in the season when there isn't that much plants and pollen for them to go after, so for like dandelions. Give it a quick little shake. This is empty. It was full. I had this box full of syrup, simple syrup, which is just like sugar and water. Now I'm gonna pull one of these out just for inspection purposes. And so you guys can see how, wow, that thing's heavy. Look at that. So you can see right here, this is brood and this is honey. And that looks like a queen cell right there. Backside looks even more beautiful. Look at that. All that white spots right here, this is all capped honey. That is good to go. But we're going to leave that for the bees. We're not going to take their honey right just yet. Okay. So I'm going to put this back. I do want to show you guys this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. But, you see that right there? Right there at the end of where I'm pointing at. That looks like a new queen cell being formed. They might be making a new queen, so we don't really want that. But before I get rid of it, I'm gonna wait because my brother said he wants this. He has hive as well, and his queen left, so he needs a new queen. I might just give him this one for the meantime. First, I'm going to move this over a little bit. There we go. Let me inspect another. I'm not going to mess with this middle one yet. I want to inspect another one, see how they're doing. Beauty bees. I really don't want to smash them. I feel bad if I hurt any of these guys. I mean, it's inevitable you might smash one or two. But just try to be as gentle as possible. Look at that. See, that's uncapped honey. You can see there's honey in the cells, but they haven't capped it yet because it's still too much humidity. But look at this side. See that side's capped? That is a beautiful, perfect example of what you want. It's all even, capped, dry. That is a beautiful slide. Wow, the other one next to it looks just as beautiful. This is going to be a great harvest this year. I'm going to leave this in here for these guys and gals. All right, now what we can do is we can save this. We can scrape off this top honey. You don't want these uneven. You want them to kind of keep it semi-organized. So, hold on a second. Hey, Dad, could you go inside and get me a baking tray, please? As soon as possible. A clean baking tray so I can put this honey on. A baking sheet, like a baking sheet. I'm gonna scrape some of this honey off and give it to us and save it now. So, because I'm gonna clean off those top pieces of that are sticking out, protruding out, I'm gonna peel that off now, and it's delicious honey, so I'm not gonna let it go to waste. Whatever drops on the ground, the bees will clean up. The excess, we'll have an early season sample for us. Come on, everybody, and watch the delicious honey flow. I'm gonna move the camera closer to get a better look. Thanks for bearing with me. You know it's a little shaky. Okay. You see what I'm referring to? All this, you can pull all that off right now. Alright. So I just needed something to put this honey on because I don't want it to go to waste. Alright, Buzzy Bees, excuse me for 1 second. I always feel so bad doing this because I feel like I'm destroying their home. But by doing this, it helps guide them in the direction to go to properly store and form the hive. So as sad as this is, hey guys, I'm gonna give you a little bit of smoke because I don't want to. See how it's a little bit of smoke? It makes them kind of like they go down to the hive. So I'm smoking them down to the hive so that they leave the area. All right, perfect. So you hear it audibly got louder because the ones down in the cells are freaking out, saying, "What's going on? We're under attack!" Wow, look at that honey. That's beautiful. So don't worry, any honey that gets smashed right now and drips down in there, the bees they'll just start eating that, and they'll eat it and they'll put it back where it belongs. They'll clean it up for you. Uh-oh, the bees are getting very, very angry. Calm down, guys. It's okay. So you can hear them. They're getting very upset. They probably don't know that I'm just helping them. I think I'm trying to attack them, but I'm not. So you can see some of the bees are stuck to the honey. They will be able to clean themselves. Other bees will help clean them. And I will actually help them if need be. I'll show you that in a moment. Shake the bees off that you can shake off. It makes things a little easier. Uh-oh. Yeah, there, bud. There you go. The bees, they're very clean creatures. Like they don't like to be messy, so they will actually clean each other and keep the hive clean. I don't know if you can see it. See this bee right here at the corner right here? See how he has these big yellow dots? Those are pollen sacs on his leg. They are filled. He goes around and fills them with pollen. Alrighty. So the bees are clean already. They're cleaning up all the honey that's been spilled because they don't want to waste it either. So I'm gonna take this honey off of here. This is off the lid because I also don't want to waste any honey. Try not to smash the bees or get them trapped underneath this. I mean, it's hard not to, but you gotta do your best. This dark stuff feels like some brood. I'm gonna actually put that back somewhere else just so they can relocate it as needed. Okay. Now, before they get too crazy, I'm going to move this over here. Whoa. I'm going to set this down. All right. Now, I have a new slide that was in the spot of when the feeder was there. Now that the feeder is gone, I'm putting this slide in its spot. I want to check out this middle one, see what that looks like. Okay. Let's see. This one might be a brood one. Yeah, it's brood on that side. Yeah, brood. I'm just going to leave that because the queen might be in there and I don't want to upset her. Alrighty, let's get the second box going. Put this right on top. Gently, I don't want to smash any bees. And look at that, guys. You guys have a bigger house now. How you like it? You went from having a 1-story house to now having a 2-story house. How cool is that? All right, move the camera back a little bit so you can see better. Alrighty. So you just shake, you can literally just shake it and the bees usually fall off. See some bees. Alright, I usually leave all this stuff out here so that the bees who are on it can come off of it in the next couple hours. Now, I'm going to smoke this corner a little bit so I can get the bees to get out of the way. You can see they're falling down. They can close it now without harming them. One got smashed. See, it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes they just get in the way. Alrighty. Now, before I annoy them and give them too much trauma, I'm going to cover them back up as soon as possible and let them do their thing. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Shoo, shoo, shoo. There you go. Perfect. And that's how you add a second super to your honeybee hive. Simple as that. A little bit of maintenance, add another level. So now, on the hotter days when they might have thought that the hive was too small or too hot, now that the heat will rise up and it'll give them a little bit more coolness where they're at. And when I add the third story towards the middle of the summer, the third super will be the honey that's for us to harvest. So the bottom two you're supposed to leave for the bees, so that way they have food for the whole winter. And the third one is the excess that is for us to take and use as you choose. So, but for now, this way, hopefully the bees won't split and leave too soon. Like we did last year. Last year, I only had one box on it, and the bees must have got too crowded or too hot, and they split. So hopefully they won't split this year as quickly without me being able to manually split them and create a second hive. If you have any suggestions or tips, please comment them. Let me know. If you have questions, I'm going to clean up a little bit right here in the next moment, and then I'm going to turn the phone sideways and try to read your comments, guys, and answer them. And so just give me a moment, please. It's a little hard in this tight area with all this bee suit on. I usually don't wear the bee suit, but because I was really messing with their hive, I didn't want to piss them off. But I mean, they're not even really attacking me, so I don't think I even need it, to be honest. So back to this. Here's the honey again. See how there's still some bees in here? They don't want to. Almost want to gently place them on the hive. So you got to shake them off. I have this water bath here. If I need to, I just submerge them in the water bath. That way they can clean themselves off. usually after a couple of little shaking, they tend to just leave. They don't want to leave their honey because they spend so much time on it. They're like, well, this is our honey, what are we doing? But I also don't want to hurt them. All right, I got all the bees out of here. Now it's bee free. Now this can go inside, and this will be our first bee honey tasting of the season. I'm actually about to do it now. I'm about to take off my bee. But I don't think I can because I have this bee suit on. So I'm gonna let the bees calm down for a little bit, and then when I come back a little bit later, like an hour, I'm gonna change the water right here. This little water book I gave them. So, alrighty. Should we taste some honey? I'm zippering off my suit. It's dangerous to go to the hive, but let's go for a little taste, everybody. Dip our finger right in there. Ooh, that's delicious. Wow, that's sweet. I love early spring honey. It's like this real light golden. It's not dark like the end of the season. I think it's delicious. Real floral and light notes. So let me see. I'm gonna shake the camera on. Hold it real quick, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this down. Okay, let me see if I can read the comments. How do I read the comments on here? Orientation is locked. Great. So how do I see comments? Live chat. How do I see them? Does anybody know how to read comments? So it won't let me turn my phone sideways to go in portrait mode, which would allow me to read the comments. I have to keep it horizontal, but the problem is I can't read your comments, guys. Alrighty. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tour and whatnot. We'll walk around the garden real quick. Here is my do-it-yourself greenhouse. If you haven't watched it already, on my channel, I have a complete tutorial on how to build this greenhouse yourself. Step by step, every single screw, everything you need to do to build yourself your very own greenhouse just like this. And it's relatively simple and low cost. So be sure to subscribe and check out that video, as well as many others. I'll teach you how to do all kinds of awesome stuff in your garden. So this one, I put a window in here, a glass window, a nice greenhouse fan. We have some potatoes growing. We're doing great. We just pulled, there was all lettuces in here. We just pulled them all out a couple days ago because they had done their run. As you can see, there's some still in these little pots. Rosemary, my cactuses, my cacti actually. Let's see what we got going on here. Also, there's videos on how to build your own cattle panel fences. You can see right here, there's lattices I built. And this is the newest one we just did. That's kind of like a, made a little dome tunnel. See, the peas are growing up the side, and soon, another couple weeks, it'll be a complete tunnel. It'll be shaded in here. It'll be pretty cool. Cool to walk through. Come back on the back side of our greenhouse. Here is our raspberry patch. As you can see, we're about to have some delicious raspberries coming up soon. They're all green now, but a couple more weeks, they will be tasty. Got my blueberry bushes. The one in the back's not doing so well, unfortunately. And it does actually have blueberries on it. Just not doing as well as I would hope they would have. This one's doing nice. Do-do-do-do-do. You can also check out my previous videos to see this exact same garden towards the middle and end of the season when it's fully flourished with all the fruit and vegetables growing on it. That's always exciting. So check out those videos too. I can't wait to eat some of these delicious peaches. Oh, wow. Look at them. Wow, there's like thousands of them. I'm going to have to start pruning. So like you can see how some of them are big, these ones are small. I'll just pop them off now because they're not going to do anything. It's going to suck the nutrients away from the big ones. So you can thin them out. So work is never done in the garden, in greenhouse. I can see already the bees have calmed down a lot. They're still going in and out, but that's good. They're just doing work. They're not buzzing all loud and upset like they were earlier. So, well, I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. God bless.